everyone, Artie Tambarambaa, also known as Tammy Porter, here with you today. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. Today we're going to create this spread in my new project for 2024. So I'll just go through what I've used. So these are the new lined art journals for Art by Marlene. And that is what I am working on today. So I'm working in that one with the cute little cow on the front. I use a couple of stencils from the Advent stencil calendar. So I've used the number stencil, and I've used the letter stencil, and then the script stencil as well. And I'm just admiring my nails. I'm off to the beach for a few days with the family, and I had some mermaid nails done because I need to be a mermaid. I've also used a few paints, so I've used the Kissy paint, I've used the Funky, which is the neon pink, I've used Happy, which is the yellow. I've also used the new Postage Madness paper pad, and I have used a watercolor brush of Marlene's, and then I've dug out a couple of older stamps. So I've got the Bath one, which is called Mindfulness. I've also got Magic Potion, and I've grabbed you've got Mail, which is an older one as well, and then I've used the new one, which is the Home Alone with the little houses on it also. Okay, so I'm just flipping through to my page that I'm going to create in, and I have pre-gessoed this with just white gesso and let it dry. The pages, I just find, I don't always add gesso, but sometimes by adding gesso I can add a lot more water to my page, and I knew I wanted a soft background, so I wanted to water down the the acrylic paint, so I applied some gesso. I haven't put it perfectly all over, but just mainly in the background area. So then I've grabbed this stamp from the Home Alone, that gorgeous black and white check, and what I've decided to do for this page is I'm going to create, because this is in my new project for 2024, which is just documenting my life, but doing it in a bit of an artsy way. So I'm also a reader. I'm sure there's plenty of you who love to read as well, and I tend to read non-fiction, and I work at a library, so books are really, really important to me. So I wanted to document my reads for the year, and I've seen a few of this project where people create a shelf, and I thought how fun, and then document their reads on each of the little books. So that's what my goal is today. So I started with the black and white stripy stamp, and I'm using it to create my shelves. Now I have tried to line it up. I put a piece of paper down to mask in places to try and make the shelf continuous. I have done 3 shelves. A couple of spots haven't stamped out very well, and that's fine because I'll come back in and fix that. And then on the right hand side in that gap, I've put my title. So I simply just traced through a 2024 for 2024 from the Advent stencil, and also with reads, I did the same off of the Alpha stencil from the Advent calendar. And then I've come in and stamped a few little bits on my shelf. So I don't just want it to have books, I want it to be a bit fun as well. So I've put a little fish bowl, so that is from the Magic Potion set, that little fish bowl, and then I added a little fish inside. I can't remember where I got him from. He's from one of the stamps, and I just don't have it in front of me, I'm sorry. And then I added a little stack of books, which comes from that Mindfulness stamp, which is the Bathy set, and I put a little glass of wine on the top, and I also added another book stack, and added some, it's from this bar stamp, it's like shampoo and conditioner and a brush in a little bowl, but I changed them, as you'll see later. I try and make them look like pens and glue and pencils, just to go with my art journal theme. And I popped a little handbag on there, that's from the You've Got Mail set as well. It's got a little rainbow in it, so I thought that was super cute. So I stamped them down first, and then I have come in with collage paper. Now this collage paper, I've used the back of the new Postage Madness because it has some plainer, or maybe I used the other one, the mono postage fun. Anyway, they've got plain papers on the back, so they're perfect for making books out of. And I also wanted to add a bit of pattern, so they just weren't all plain, the book covers. So I've got a little pile of like leftover bits and pieces that I keep, that I haven't perhaps used all of it on a page. And I've grabbed that box out, and I simply just pull out anything with sort of a more of a minimal colour, so not colour, pattern. So where it is perhaps a bit spotty and a bit of a postage stamp or something that it's not too strong, I have pulled all of those out, and I will use them to create my books. And I've just popped them to the side, but now it's time to add a little bit of colour to the background. So I've come in with my Kissy and my Happy, and also a bit of the Funky, which is the pink, hot pink, and I'm just simply watering them down quite a bit because I want more of a watercolour background. So I'm just adding them straight to the page with lots and lots of water, which is why you needed the gesso. Then I've dried it off with my heat gun, and now I'm coming in with the text stencil that was in one of the Advent days, and I am just using one of Marlene's sponges to sponge through in certain areas, and that just creates a bit of interest in the background, so it's not just completely just flat colour. It just gives a bit of highlight in there as well. Now it's time to make the cute little books. So I'm just grabbing the little strips and little bits and pieces that I cut out, and these also, I didn't mention that some of these have come off of the bottom of Marlene's 12 by 12 papers, that there's often a little strip. So they're perfect for making little books out of. And I'm just trimming them in different thicknesses and different heights. So books are all different, so I'm going for that look. And I'm just stacking them on the shelves, and I'm sticking them down with the sticky glue. Some I'm stacking them all upright, and then every now and then I stack a couple on top of each other on their side, and I also every now and then put one that is perhaps leaning against another book. And this is lots of fun. I could keep doing this for ages. Now I have a goal to read 45 books this year, and I have achieved that over the last few years, so it could well be a few more. I am not counting the books as I go. That is not how I create. I'm not a very logical creator. I'm not too much of a planner. I just like to have an idea and to run with it. But you do what works for you. But I tend to just wing it. And I quite expect that I will need another shelf. So that'll be fun in a couple of months, 6 months time, to recreate a page with some shelves and add some books. And I'm sure I'll add different things to the shelves along with the books this time. So I'm fine with just creating a part 2 as need be. Okay, so now it's time to really work on what I've added to the shelves. So I have grabbed my pencils. I use Prismacolor pencils, and here again I'm going through my scraps of things, and I thought, oh, how cute would it be to have a few pot plants, because I like my indoor plants as well. That's what's on my bookshelves, is some plants. So out of some scraps I've created a couple of, well, at this stage I've just created one little bowl, and then I've just cut some sort of almost like leaves and popped them just out of green leftover paper and popped them in the bowl, and they kind of came out looking a little bit like a cactus kind of plant. So I was happy with that, and I thought, so cute, I reckon I could fit another one next to the fish bowl. So then I just used some yellow scrap and cut out a little bowl, and this time I decide, because it's the shelf at the top, that I need to have a plant with leaves that is trailing down, because they're probably my favourite kind of plant. So I create lots of little leaves, just out of green paper, and I just sort of cut tiny little shapes and I just glue them on as though they're coming out of the pot and then trailing down. So I'm not thinking too much about it. I do come back in and highlight bits with a pen, which helps really pull it together and make it look more pot planty. But they're a bit cute. I had a lot of fun creating those little collage pot plants. So I'm really enjoying this new project and sharing a bit more of my personal, I guess, what's happening for me in my life at that time in the book, which I think will be lovely to look back on. As there is a previous video where I explain how I've got to this project and how I felt like there was something missing in my art, just, you know, because I'm doing more and more videos that I tend to not get too personal, and then I was missing that real part of creating that touches me and that has made me, you know, is the whole reason I do it. It helps me, it allows me to express myself, it allows me to get things out, etc, etc. So yeah, it's lots of fun, and I'm thinking of different ideas that I might put in, and I'm using it as a bit of a warm-up as well. I thought I'd do this one on video so you could see a bit of the process, but often I use it as my first thing I do. If I'm planning a video that day, let's just do a page in there, and it's like a warm-up. It just gets me in the zone, ready. So you'll just see here that, like, my little Maisie, she's my beautiful cat who's always by my side, and she loves it when I'm in my studio creating, and she's found me. So she wants to sit and have a bit of a cuddle for a while, but I do have a little spot. She used to sit on my windowsill, but I ended up having lots of hair in my artwork, and I also she would end up with splatters on her. So I got her a little bed that hangs off the window, and I moved it up high. So she sat around with me for a while, and now she's given up and jumped up there. So she's overseeing what I'm doing. But we're always together, and she's my little shadow, so she's a bit cute. Okay, so back to my page. So you'll notice that I did the title with the 2024. I actually drew some sort of polka dots on them and then coloured in around it with the black pen. And then I filled in reeds so that it's all black. And then I've been colouring in my little stamps. So just using my pencils just to colour in, you know, add a bit of colour. I turned the little toothbrush basket into crayons and some paint. So that looks quite cute. And now I'm coming in and adding the books that I have already read. So at this point, 1, 2, 3, I've read 4 books already this year. And so I'm adding the titles and my rating out of 5 stars onto the spines of those books. And I just kind of go around them in black pen, and that you'll see that sort of outlines them. And so they're the books that I've read, and I will continue to do that as I move along the shelf with what I have read for the year. Then I added a little bit of journaling. So I'm adding my goal in, which is my goal is for 2024 is to read 45 books. And I made a little mistake, so I'm just gessoing over that and redoing that little part there. And then I added a quote that said, "Reading forces you to be quiet in a world that no longer makes a place for that." So reading is a bit of an escape for me. So that is it. I will leave you with some close-ups so you can see those shelves a little bit clearer. It's a really fun page to do. I will do another one in a few months. But everybody, happy reading, happy creating. Thanks so much for sticking with me, and I will be back again really soon. Thanks for watching, and of course, don't forget to leave a comment. I love knowing you are here. Bye.